With the potential Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 around the corner, I think now is a better time than any to talk about things we would want in that Xenoverse 3. And one of the things we want to see most are more races. And one of the races I want to see the most are the android race.
Actually, Ranmachi, they are not androids. They are actually called artificial humans in the Japanese sub.
You're right about that, random nerd commenter. And I think using artificial humans as a term is actually better because it gives us way more options to pull from to make this race really unique and give them a whole bunch of transformations, skills, etc. So, join me in this video because we're going to talk about how Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 should implement the android race.
Actually, they're called the Jinzo Ningen in the Japanese.
When it comes to the different races in Xenoverse, they all have their own unique passive buffs that really define their playstyle and the advantages they have in battle. Saiyans, a lot of damage. Majins, a lot of defense. Namekians, a lot of health and even regeneration. So the big question is, what are we going to give androids to really set them apart from other races? And again, this is Xenoverse 3, so I think we need to up the ante of what these passive abilities can really do to make a really cool, unique playing style. And at first, I kind of really didn't know what to do. I was a little lost, but I think I found the perfect way to implement a great android ability. And I got the idea from one of the newest Super Souls in the game, Android 17 Super Soul. I have an unlimited energy supply. And like the name implies, this is literally just Xenoverse 2's way of implementing the infinite energy that Android 17 and 18 are known for having in the show, which has always just given them a huge boost in battle because you're getting tired, they're not getting tired. But it is not all sunshine and rainbows for this Super Soul, but I guess for Android it would be more like power cables and SD cards or something, I don't know. But basically, Super Soul has downsides, dude. And the downsides for constant ki auto recovery is that it literally halves your damage on your ki blast supers, your melee supers, and your regular melee attack. Editor's note, it does not affect your basic attack. I got that wrong, so please ignore that for the rest of the video. My bad, sorry. Now you're probably thinking,
Ranmachi, I would love ki auto recovery, but I do not.
Why did I give you that voice? I don't know why I keep doing that voice. You're probably thinking, dude, Ranmachi, I would love ki auto recovery, but halving my damage, that's kind of terrible. And you're right, that is kind of crazy to force on an entire race as a passive, but I have two really good ideas of how they can really balance this to make it to where you don't always have to fight with half your damage halved. Half your damage halved. I am not good at English. And the way to get past these nerfs would be energy absorption and combo buffs. So let's start with combo buffs. Combo buffs, as the name implies, are basically when you do a certain combo, the game gives you a buff. Now, a lot of characters actually have this, from DBS Videl, Kama 2 has it when he does his grab, and the character that has the most of these are Ribrianne. I'm pretty sure literally every single one of Ribrianne's combos gives her some type of buff. And I think with androids, the way to get past them being naturally nerfed when it comes to damage is if you complete the combo at the end, you get the damage buff, and then boom, bro, you're good. So you get about 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's how long Ribrianne's combo buff lasts. 30 seconds. So you get 30 seconds of still getting your ki auto recovery, but your damage is no longer halved. And of course, different combos can boost different things. Your light combo will only boost your basic attack, but your heavy combo will boost your strike supers, your light heavy combo will boost your ki blast supers, etc. I think that's how this could work, and I think this is a pretty good way to implement the Android infinite ki mechanic, but also still giving them ways to do damage. Now, the next way I think we can get rid of the damage nerf and also just give androids a unique mechanic to really make them feel like they're their own class and race is absorption. Now, I already have them kind of grabbing them at the end of combos, and that's kind of a version of absorption, but that's more so just for the combo buffs. When it comes to actually absorbing energy attacks like Android 19, Super Android 17, I think we should make that naturally a part of Android's movesets. So you don't have to put on Drain Field or anything like that. We should just make that a part of their actual moveset. And the way we're gonna do that is, well, okay, I gotta explain something to you first. In Xenoverse 2, as you know, you can't charge up ki unless you put on an actual ki charge scale, which is really weird. I don't know why Xenoverse thought that was a good idea, but after one of the recent updates, or it's not recent anymore, I think it was 4 years ago by this point, but if you use the Ultra Instinct Awoken skill, you can charge ki naturally just by holding block and triangle. Now, kind of similar to this, back in Xenoverse 1, if you wanted to transform, you had to waste an ultimate attack slot. Like, even though there's literally an empty space right there, they for some reason just put all the transformations on like the ultimate, or if you used Kaioken, it was a super attack, but they just didn't use the actual empty slot, which is probably just like a really big oversight. I feel like that's kind of the same thing with key charge. Like in Xenoverse 3, we should just be able to charge our key by just holding block and pressing triangle. So then it's like a universal mechanic, which makes it way easier. But I do still think we should have key charge skills like Divinity Unleash, burst charge, ultimate charge, but like things like energy charge, full power charge, like those should just not exist in the game. Those are like just really weird. But again, androids don't really charge ki. That's not a thing they do. So I think that androids, one, should not be able to like naturally charge ki by just holding block and triangle, and then they also should not have access to the key charge abilities like burst charge and ultimate charge. But as kind of like a equivalent exchange type of thing, instead of charging their ki, they get the ability to just naturally absorb it, right? So let's say you hold guard and press triangle, you don't start charging, you just do the drain field pose so you can absorb ki. Now, drain field already needs to be buffed, and especially for androids, because this will be like their natural mechanic. Make it to where they gain more ki whenever they absorb things, because there's a really big problem of drain field just like not giving you that much ki when you absorb like even ultimates. Like, it's really weird. So first of all, just fix the ki recovery that you get from absorbing attacks. And then whenever you do get to absorb someone's super attack or their ultimate, it won't just boost the one of your damage types, it'll boost all of your damage types at the same time. And I feel like that's a really fun mechanic because it encourages you to use your drain field mechanic because it's a fast way to boost all of your damage. And this is going to be really good for PvP, but I think this is going to really shine in raid battles. Because raid bosses use moves like Marbling Drop, Peeler Storm, you're going to pretty much be able to constantly absorb their attacks, get more ki, and get a huge damage buff. Now, of course, ultimate attacks like, Gigantic Ki Blast and any other ultimates they give to bosses in Xenoverse 3, you shouldn't be able to absorb those. That would be a little bit too game breaking. But when it comes to super attacks and evasives like Marbling Drop, Peeler Storm, absorbing those, that will literally change how androids fight against raid bosses. It's gonna be crazy. Now that was pretty much just the basic abilities that androids should have, but after that I want to talk about the actual cosmetics and unique appearances we can give to androids. Now, unlike Earthlings and Saiyans, which kind of look the exact same, I think there's a lot of things you can do to make androids look different. When it comes to hair types, you can give us the brain in the jar, the metal in the jar with wires, and my favorite headpiece, the Gamma 1 and 2 fins. We can get the Gamma's eyes, we can get Android 15's cool robot eyes, we can even get the Machine Mutant's eyes like Baby, General Rildo, Dr. Mew. And since we are going to be androids and we are going to be absorbing things, let our CACs have like the red gem in the middle of our hands. And we see with some characters like Frieza Race, they have more skin tone options than like Saiyans and humans do. So I really hope they give androids more skin tone options to really show that we are mechanical, not just regular humans. Like we can get like the Gamma 1 and 2 metal skin, we can get babies like weird metal skin too. I think that would be really cool. But that's kind of the basic stuff. Now we can get to the things that you're probably here for. The unique skills they can give androids, and of course the unique awoken skills. Now, when it comes to unique android skills, I think there's one they have to add, and that is the I have no other options. Listen, almost all of Dr. Moreau's high-grade androids have the ability to blow themselves up. Please add this as an ability. It will just be really, really fun if we got this ability. But not just this ability, give us the rocket punch, give us the machine gun punch. We can finally get Android 16's armless Hell Flash. And also, when it comes to moves like Hyper Drain and Drain Field, since we finally could get an Android race, those should really only be Android exclusive moves. I think Data Input should also be an Android exclusive ability, and also make it last way longer. I think Data Input does not last as long as it should. I would also really like an ultimate version of attacks like Hyper Drain, where instead of draining your ki or your stamina, you take your opponent's health, and then you can like stab him in the middle of the stomach at the end like Dr. Gero did, dude. That would be amazing. And with the Android race, I am really going to push for the inclusion of Machine Mutant abilities because in Dragon Ball GT, Hellfighter 17 and Super 17 were both Machine Mutants. So when you think of Baby and all the other Machine Mutants, think of the abilities that they could give to our CACs. Baby has this weird like Majin Buu, like gummy weird abilities. It can work kind of similar to how Majins have Il Bomber. We've seen Machine Mutants make their bodies into whips and then also electrocute people. There's a lot of stuff they could add. I mean, General Rildo has the ability to kind of just freeze people with metal. That could be like an Android exclusive version of like the Ice Beam. Now, here's where the real dialogue starts, okay? Awoken skills. What can they do for awoken skills? Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to make a separate video going really in depth about what forms we can get for androids and like how they could function, buffs and all that other stuff, gameplay changes they could give you. But for this video, I'm just going to name the potential forms I think that we could get, alright? Nothing too in depth, just kind of naming them. Super Android 13 form. I would love if we could get this form. Though I will say, instead of our characters having to get blue skin and the exact same haircut, I made an argument in one of my previous videos about Freezer Race and how a Freezer Race transformation could work where we could kind of customize it similar to how we can customize our partners. Let us customize our Super Android 13 form. Maybe we want to have red skin. Maybe we want to have white hair. And again, the hair should not be the exact same as Android 13's. It should just be the Super Saiyan hair equivalent for whatever hair type we have. And yes, Xenoverse 3 better spike up our hair. I would also really love if Xenoverse 3 gave us a Majin 21 form for androids. You know, we get the tail, the Majin skin, the different hair color, the Majin eyes. That would be really cool. I could even see them giving us like a candy bean grab, just like how Android 21 has a candy bean grab. And the form should also give us access to any Majin move. So if we have a Majin move, maybe we can't use it in base form, but after we go into the Majin form, then we should be able to use the move, like Explosive Boo Boo Punch, Boo Boo Ball, all that. Okay, and this is a big one because a lot of people want bio-androids to just be their own race or like a subsect of androids as like a natural race. I really don't see Xenoverse 2 or Xenoverse 3 doing that because that would be like a whole new skeleton. They would have to animate and all that stuff. I don't see them doing that, but I would love a bio-android transformation for androids. Imagine you can go into a first form, a second form, a third form, and again, let us customize it. Our form should not look the exact same. We should be able to change how our crown looks, how our tail looks kinda a little bit, the color of our characters, and I would also love if you have a drain move on your character as an android, when you become a bio-android, change that to the drain life cell move to where you take their health and stab them with like your tail and stuff. That would be so cool. But maybe that'll be a little bit too much work, so at least give us a perfect cell bio-android form and let us customize that. If you're not going to give us imperfect and semi-perfect, please at least give us the perfect form and let us customize how that looks a little bit. And again, with the machine mutants, I would love a baby transformation. It could start out with just you having white hair and the baby eyes, then you get babies like weird like armor stuff and you get like the glossy eyes, and of course the third form you basically just become baby kinda, but you know, that's how babies forms work. But I think a baby transformation would also be really cool. And with that, I think we're pretty much done. I do know that the majority of the video was spent, you know, talking about how the androids would work when it comes to like their natural race abilities, which I think is the most important part because if you're gonna make a new race, they need to have their own unique abilities, like as like a base passive thing, you know? But we got past that, we got to the cosmetics, we got to the unique abilities and awoken skills. Guys, if there's anything else you want to hear me talk about when it comes to Xenoverse 3, list it below. I can make a video on it. I would love some more ideas. I'm going to keep making more videos though. I will catch you guys later. God bless. Do your best on whatever you're doing, chat. We're all trying to do our best. God bless y'all. I'm going to catch y'all later. Catch y'all tomorrow probably. I'll see y'all later.